We now move to our first session, and it's fitting that we begin with a conversation about India's capital markets because they are central to the growth story we'll be exploring over the course of the day.
These markets have been transforming rapidly. Record investor participation, significant regulatory reforms, and growing global interest. But with that growth comes important questions about resilience, governance, and sustaining this momentum while protecting investors.
And to share his perspective on opportunities and challenges in India's capital markets, we're joined by the person who leads India's market regulator, Tuhin Kanta Pandey, chairperson of the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Distinguished guests, leaders from industry, esteemed partners from global markets, entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to join you today to reflect on the evolving role of India's capital market. The theme of the India advantage is timely in this period of an uneven global environment. In an era marked by heightened trade uncertainty, geopolitical fault lines, and sudden policy shifts, the Indian economy continues to demonstrate remarkable economic growth, resilience, and stability. Our capital market is not just a barometer of the economy. It's a key pillar of our economic growth and central to our aspirations of a Viksit Bharat. Today, I want to outline some key opportunities and challenges in different segments of India's capital market. The health of our primary market remains robust. In FY25, 4.6 trillion rupees was raised through the equity market. In current financial year, the equity market has already raised 2 trillion rupees. Unique investors have crossed 135 million, up from just 38 million in FY19, indicating their confidence in our markets. However, our investor survey shows that while 63% households are aware of security products, only 9.5% have invested yet. Moreover, 80% households remain risk-averse, reflecting the fear of loss. Therein lies our opportunity and our challenge. There is a deep well of domestic capital waiting to be deployed, and I urge the industry to take advantage of this opportunity. Raise capital, create value for all stakeholders, and help define our economic future. On our part, we have and will continue to streamline the capital raising process. The IPO listing and rights issue timelines have been shortened. The recent proposals for scale-based approach in minimum public offer size and calibrated MPS timelines, consistent with market absorption capacity and liquidity, will enable and encourage more listings. The governance framework for MIIs has been strengthened, ensuring that public interest is given first priority. Derivatives play a vital role in price discovery and risk management. We have taken several measures in a phased manner to address some of the challenges posed by this segment. Going forward, our approach will continue to be data-oriented, calibrated, and consultative. The block deal window has been reviewed comprehensively, with changes made to price bands and to the minimum order size. We are also committed to introduce closing auction frameworks soon, aligned with other global jurisdictions, but suitably designed for our requirements. We are focused on deepening our cash equities market to spur capital formation. An active securities lending and borrowing scheme is critical for improving price discovery and facilitating interlinkage between the cash and derivative segments. From a borrower's perspective, it facilitates the settlement of securities sold short, while lenders can earn a fee on their idle securities. The framework for short selling was introduced in 2007 and has remained unchanged since then. Further, the securities lending and borrowing mechanism was introduced in 2008 and modified a few times subsequently. However, this segment remains significantly underdeveloped as compared to other jurisdictions. We will soon form a working group to comprehensively review short selling and the SLBM frameworks. The mutual fund industry AUM now exceeds 75 trillion rupees. Monthly SIP flows of over 250 billion rupees show that awareness about disciplined savings and long-term investing is taking deeper roots among Indian households. Yet, SEBI's investor survey underlines that despite high awareness of mutual fund products, which is about 53% households, their penetration remains low at 6.7%. The AUM of mutual funds is still less than 25% of our GDP, where they are over 80% of GDP in many advanced economies. Huge opportunity lies in deepening this penetration. Moreover, financial inclusion will remain incomplete unless women are equally represented. Towards this end, we have revised the incentive structure for distributors to onboard first-time women investors and new investors from beyond the top 30 cities. The challenge lies in ensuring that there is no mis-selling. Mutual funds must be products that retail investors can trust. We have worked with AMFI to strengthen the monitoring mechanism for mis-selling and misconduct by distributors. Corporate bonds outstandings have increased with a CAGR of over 12% from 17.5 trillion rupees at the end of FY 2015 to about 54 trillion rupees as of September 2025. During the current financial year, around 5 trillion rupees worth of bond issuances have already taken place. Several initiatives have been made to develop corporate bond market further, such as mandatory electronic book provider platform for debt issuance of 20 crore or more, reduction of minimum face value to enable access to retail through online bond platform providers, and liquidity window to provide option to exit before maturity. However, much needs to be done to deepen the market and improve secondary trading and liquidity, especially in the area of retail investor awareness about the debt market, which is much less than what is there in the equity market. Municipal bond market as well as market for green, blue, yellow, social, sustainability-linked bonds have been enabled through regulations. They are still at a nascent stage though, but have a potential to take off. This brings me to one of the most important challenges, the challenge of investor protection. Investor protection begins with investor education. We face onslaught of fake apps, cloned websites, unrealistic performance claims, and unregistered entities misleading investors. Unregulated influencers pose a direct risk to investors, with nearly 62% investors making investment decisions based on their recommendations, as SEBI's survey points out. Our response has been on multiple fronts. We have launched a dedicated awareness campaign, SEBI versus Scam. We are actively monitoring social media for misleading content, with more than 1 lakh such items being escalated for taking down. Stock exchanges have been mandated to publish a regularly updated list of whitelisted broker apps on their websites. We have also recently launched the utilities of Valid UPI and SEBI Check, where investors can easily verify the authenticity of bank accounts or QR codes of SEBI intermediaries. This is one of our major initiatives to combat cyber frauds. Let me highlight some more data from our investor survey. 22% of aware non-investors intend to invest within the next year. 36% of investors possess high or moderate knowledge of the securities market. Urban participation at 15% is significantly higher than rural, which is at 6%. 37% of those surveyed are not aware of securities market products. 27% of non-investors don't know how to start investing. Our challenge is twofold. First, to bridge the gap between awareness and action. Potential investors are being held back by risk aversion, perceived complexity, and a lack of trust. Second, there is an opportunity to bring new investors into the fold of responsible investing. SEBI's investor campaigns going ahead will cover multiple formats: digital, multimedia, physical interaction, and multiple languages to build a new generation of informed, responsible investors. Our regulatory stance of optimum regulation is aligned towards making our markets future ready. We believe in smarter and forward-looking regulations. In the past few months, several reforms have been taken for ease of doing business with due regard to risk management. We are already simplifying and updating various regulations. The comprehensive reviews of stockbroker and mutual fund regulations are underway. We are soon going to take up a similar comprehensive review exercise for LODR 2015 and settlement regulations. Ladies and gentlemen, SEBI's regulatory stance is clear. We are first and foremost the guardian of trust in our markets, but we are also a facilitator of capital formation, enabling both investors and enterprises to participate with confidence and with ease of doing business. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for setting the tone with such inspiring words.